This is the story of Ganesh losing his head, a tale of turning accidents into blessings. There is a common misconception in the West about one of the most well-known and widely worshipped gods of India. Those who are unfamiliar with Hinduism often make the mistake of identifying the god Ganesh as the elephant god and presuming that devotees of Ganesh are worshipping an elephant. While there are certain sacred elephants in Hindu tradition, Ganesh is not one of them, for Ganesh is not an elephant. There are certain Hindu gods that are animals, but the majority are anthropomorphic, meaning they have a human-like form. Ganesh is one of these, merely a human-formed god who happens to have an elephant's head. But this wasn't always the case. How did Ganesh get his elephant's head? Let's find out in today's story. While Ganesh is an important god in his own right, a fair amount of his status comes from his divine parentage. Ganesh's father is Shiva, one of the three members of the Trimurti, the Holy Trinity of Hinduism's most powerful and important gods. Shiva is himself quite the enigma, and deserving of an episode of his own, but for now we shall focus on his aspects that are important to this story. The three members of the Trimurti each have a grander role to play in the cosmos, and Shiva's role is that of the Destroyer, the god who destroys the universe and recreates it anew at the end of each long cosmic cycle. That obviously makes him extremely powerful and dangerous, and so he had to come up with ways to hold in all of that destructive divine energy. He does so by living the life of a spiritual yogi, a Hindu ascetic, by meditating, living in isolation in the Himalayas, smoking lots of cannabis, and going away on spiritual pilgrimages. Ganesh's mother is the goddess Parvati, another extremely powerful and much worshipped deity. While Parvati is often worshipped in her more wrathful forms, like Kali, in her normal form she is a very kind and compassionate goddess associated with beauty, fertility, harmony, and motherhood. She is seen as Shiva's spiritual other half, and indeed, the both of them, air quotes, bond, quite often. One day, Shiva decided to set off on another of his spiritual wanderings, leaving Parvati alone at home in the Himalayas. She wouldn't be lonely for long, however, as her previous private yoga sessions with her husband had resulted in her being with child. In time, she would give birth to a healthy, wonderful baby boy. Shiva was gone for a long time, around 10 years, and over the years, the young boy grew up and, like his father, had developed a brave temperament. One day, Parvati decided to take a bath, and so asked her brave young son to guard the outskirts of the pool that she was bathing in so that no one would peek at her. The boy did as he was told. After his extremely long trip to the store for cosmic milk, Shiva finally returned home on that same day, accompanied by his divine attendants, the Ganas. Shiva heard his beautiful wife bathing in the distance, and so wanted to go and surprise her. He told his boys to wait outside and approach the watering hole, only to find his path blocked by a brave little boy who wouldn't let him pass. Having been away for so long, Shiva, of course, did not know Parvati was pregnant, nor that she had given birth to his son, the same son that now stood before him, blocking his path. Ganesh, of course, did not know what his father looked like either, and so wouldn't budge. Shiva isn't much of a negotiator, and so he lobbed off the boy's head and went to go see his wife. When Parvati saw that her husband's sword was covered in blood, she immediately knew what happened and almost flew into one of her catastrophically destructive rages. Worried, Shiva tried to calm her down by stating that he would find the boy's head and reattach it. But alas, he could not find the missing head. Instead, he chopped off the head of an elephant he found nearby and fused that to the boy's body. Thus, Ganesh as we know him was formed. Ganesh's other name is Ganapati, which means leader of the Ganas, those same retainers of Shiva that we had mentioned before. This title was given to the brave boy god after his revival by his father Shiva to commemorate his bravery in standing up to the great destroyer god. Ironically enough, Ganesh is now worshipped as the god who removes obstacles on one's path through life, and thanks to his elephant head that never forgets, he is also the god of wisdom and new beginnings. Now for today's fact. Did you know all Hindu gods have a mount they are depicted riding, and Ganesh's mount is a mouse? This is likely a comical reference to the belief that elephants are terrified of mice, since they skitter around their feet below. Thanks for watching. To support our channel and learn more about the myths and legends that inspire us, please like this video and subscribe.